Buongiorno and welcome back to the Watch Scientists. I hope you had a fantastic start to the new year. I'd like to start the new year off with a watch that is very special to me, that was gifted to me well before I started getting passionate about watches. So this Tissot PRC 100 was gifted to me in the early 2010s or late 2000s, I can't remember. And the more I've been recently looking at it, especially in recent years, the more the design is growing on me, and the more I'm realizing that this watch is actually a hidden gem at less than 500 euros. This is an incredible offering. Now let's piece it all together. What led me to making this video is, first of all, taking it out of the box again, then checking whether the PRC still exists. And it does, in fact. It just has nothing to do with this, and I don't know what the hell Tissot were thinking when they made the PRC that is out there today. I don't know how they went from this to that. But anyways, let's stick to this PRC 100. It is a 38mm case. It is obviously a chronograph. It is a quartz movement. It is probably an ETA. But the most stunning to me, the most stunning detail is the dial and the intricacy of the dial. So we have a very deep blue sunburst dial with kind of steel chapter rings around the chronograph counters, and then we have a yellow contrasting tachymeter scale and a date window at 4 o'clock, which I'm not sure it does the design any good, but the rest of the dial is to me absolutely incredible. And that, coupled with very reflective hands that are high polished and a highly reflective bezel in the sun at least, makes this look like a vintage entry-level luxury watch and not like a Tissot that was less than 500 euros 10 or 15 years ago. So that brings me on to the next point. The more time goes on, the more I venture into vintage timepieces as well, just like Chris. I don't know, I keep seeing Breitling in this watch, and that's a very good thing to me, because obviously Breitling is a bit more prestigious, well, a lot more prestigious than Tissot, but it's not just about how prestigious the design is, it's about the level of individuality it has. Obviously Tissot today is still a big brand, it's still part of the Swatch Group, but the brand feels a lot more mass-produced. And this watch, although probably mass-produced as well, it doesn't give me that mass-produced feeling. There is something very pure about the Swiss vintage sports design, if it makes sense. And I would go as far as to say that this gives me Genta vibes. The bezel, the case design, the chronograph pushes, the integrated bracelet, and yeah, I would say Tissot doesn't do them like this anymore, and it is a bit sad because this watch looks incredible. The feel of the watch adds to it as well. It is a hefty watch for 38mm. It weighs quite a lot. Don't know how much. Don't want to bore you with details like that, anyways. And don't get me wrong, I'm going on about how good this watch looks, but it is not all perfect, of course. Like, we have a bracelet that is not tapered. We do have high polished center links though, and I think it does look amazing. It would look better if it was tapered, but it is not, and that's again an element that kind of reminds me of Breitling pre the revamp of Breitling. And there's something cool about that. There's something nostalgic about it. Then we have, again, as I mentioned before, we have a date window at 4 o'clock, which I don't think it does the design justice. It seems a bit over the top. To me, it would look better without a date window at 4 o'clock. I think in general, when you have a chronograph, a date window shouldn't be part of the design unless it's at 6 o'clock. Just like the Tudor chronograph. I'm going on a tangent now. So let's get back to the Tissot. The second point I want to address is I still don't really understand a lot about this watch. I've been researching it a bit, and there is not a whole lot about it out there on the internet, not even on the Tissot website itself, or I just don't know how to use the website. But the thing is, there aren't many on Chrono, there aren't almost any on eBay, and the prices seem all over the place. So I don't know what the value of the watch is either. It can't be more than 1K, I imagine. But there are some for £300 and then there are some for £900, new old stock. Do I imagine that someone spends 900 quid on it? I don't think so. Do I think it is an incredible watch for the money? I absolutely do. I think it's incredibly overlooked. And in conclusion, if you're looking for a vintage looking sports watch that is solid, that you can trust, that will definitely keep time very accurately because it's an attack quartz movement, and from a reputable brand, then look no further than the Tissot PRC 100. There is even a titanium version out there I saw, which is very, very, very intriguing. And I believe there to be different dials. So there's this blue one, there is a black one, there's a white one. So yeah, I think this watch deserves a lot more recognition than it receives. And that's kind of my first video of the year done. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, it would mean a lot if you could leave a like on the video. That helps the channel a lot. And if you would like to see more of this type of content, then please do consider subscribing to the channel. We have a few things planned for this year with Chris to have a live stream, so stick around for that. And yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Take care and see you in the next one. Ciao.